Hi everyone. Today we are going to select the two best designs that you've made. So that's what the green boxes are for. So if you just tap in the box and then do insert and then do the wee image picture, that will take you to your photos. And you can look through your photos, and I want you to find one of the two of your best designs that you've made. So you can look through them beforehand or look through them now. I'm just trying to find this one here. And then when you've selected it, you might want to crop it a wee bit. You'll see at the top bar there's a crop selection. So you just pull the sides down, and that means you can crop it however tightly that you think it should be. And when you finish cropping it, just tap outside that box in the table. In the box underneath, I would like you to write why you think that this design's successful. So think about what you were trying to do with the design. I'm picking my second favourite one just now. So I'm just going to get my second favourite design first. So that goes in the other green box. So I'll do that before I write any comments. So this is the selection process happening just now. And what I'm doing is I'm thinking of what I was trying to do with the design. I want to make it striking. I want to make it appeal to teenagers. I want, because that's the target market I've chosen. I want it to tell the story of Iron Man quite quickly, or give an idea about what goes on in Iron Man or why Iron Man should be appealing to them. And it's got to be legible and readable as well. Okay, so in the boxes underneath, we're going to write a wee bit about why we think our designs are successful. So I want you to write in full sentences for this. So that means you're explaining yourself thoroughly. And I want you to give a couple of reasons. So you might want to think about the lettering, the imagery, the colours you've used, the shapes you've used, the layout you've used. These are all decisions you've made when you've been making your poster. And all these decisions influence how readable the poster is, how striking it is, how easy to see it is, and how much it would grab your attention, as well as how it appeals to the target market, whether that's kids or, teenagers or adults. So I think this one's successful because the lettering merges with the city well. So I quite like the way that the black of the Iron Man letters join into the black of the city, but because I've added those colours, you can still read it, so it's still legible. But that's just the lettering. So I kind of want to say a little bit about the imagery I've used or the style I've used. So I was talking a wee bit more about the layout and the colours here. What I've said is I think that the larger head, so in various designs I've tried different sizes of this head out. This is the biggest size I tried and it really dominates the city. So what I've said here is I think the larger head and limited colours are striking and more serious looking. So I've only got two colours here. I've only got red and yellow, and apart from that I've not used any colours because everything else is just black and white. So it's more serious looking, which is better. And then I seem to have stopped writing and gone away to do something else. But what I was saying is it's better for my target market. My target market is teenagers, and I think teenagers prefer slightly more serious things than, more kind of childish, colourful things. So that's my explanation here. So while we're waiting for me to get back on typing this, just to remind you then that in this document you are going to have 4 images, 2 of your best ones and 2 ones which are not quite as successful. Alright, sorry, I've just said here, in the last one I also think the larger head and limited colours are striking and more serious looking, which is better. Okay, so that's a pretty brief explanation, but there it is. In my second favourite, I've said this design is successful because it is simple. Remember, Cassandra's designs are quite simplistic. They don't have lots of detail. And then, because I think the more simple designs are quite striking. They are easier for people to understand. If you're just glancing at a poster, more simple imagery is going to hit you a bit harder than more complex imagery. So everything's big and bold, you know. Again, I've said that the lack of colour makes it look more serious. Oh yeah, and I've decided as well that the slightly broken lettering suggests that it's an action movie. Yeah, I think that broken lettering makes it look a wee bit like there's been some kind of action and destruction in there. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit dynamic. So that's my reasons for that poster. So in the red boxes go your designs that you think were less successful, because we've got to decide, you know, because you made these designs and you thought to yourself, right, I want to improve on this. So this one I have chosen because, again, I'm going to crop this, remember? So you could, for some reason I've left a white border, but you could crop it right down to the image, which I should have probably done. And then to get rid of all that, you just tap in the box underneath and the crop stuff disappears. And then I've said that I think this design is less successful. And the reason I think this is less successful is because I think it's too colourful. I think it's got the three primary colours, and the three primary colours are, you know, quite simplistic, happy, simple colours. I don't think that suits Iron Man. I think Iron Man's a wee bit more serious than that. So I think it said it's a bit too colourful. And so appeals to a younger and I can't remember if I said target market. Oh, I said audience here. So I want you to use words like that. Think about target market or audience, you know, the people that you're trying to appeal to with this poster. And this one appeals to a younger audience than the one I'm aiming for. I also don't think the lettering works particularly well here, people. I think it looks a wee bit slapped on. It doesn't really integrate with the poster. The other lettering in some way kind of blends in or integrates with the imaging. This is just metallic looking letters stuck on top. I mean, they look all right, but they don't look great, and they're certainly not I don't think they're Cassandra style enough for me. So I'm just going to do one of the red ones, but I want you to do 4. So 2 red, 2 green, and comments underneath. A couple of reasons in each box, please. And so a final thing should look like this, plus an extra image and bit of writing. So I hope that is straightforward enough for you, everyone. Good luck with that. Send me any questions you have.